busted billionaires. So I haven't been around. I was gone last week when we had this whole debacle of the billionaires getting onto a submersible, going down wanting to see the Titanic and shit, paying 250,000 a person. And for the longest time, the news was pumping up that they could be alive when a lot of people that have worked in the field knew that they was dead. I'm gonna give you guys my harsh critique. Usually when you come to my channel, you get harsh critiques from Larry. But today, you're gonna get very harsh. It's gonna seem like I don't care, but I do care critiques. But first, let me get Larry up to speed on what's happening. Let's take a look at this video. Yeah, go for it.
Can I ask you a question before we move on there? Because I see a comment from DeMarcus Vaughn that says, "Bring Jonathan Majors back now that he's been proven innocent." Was he proven innocent? I missed something on that.
Well, I mean, they haven't had the trial or anything, but I mean, it just seems like the evidence that he has and all that, unless the trial happened, and I haven't been keeping up with it. But DeMarcus Vaughn, let us know, because he did go to court like last week. So DeMarcus, come back and let us know what happened in that court visit so that we can be up to date on the latest information. But he did go to court last week.
Because I feel like if this case is moving forward, there's been no proof of innocence. I feel like if there's overwhelming proof that he didn't do anything, the judge has the option to dismiss the case. But it doesn't seem like with it moving forward that's the case. So
right, exactly. Yeah.
And
here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go, Larry. Busted billionaires trying to see the Titanic. And we're going to get the voice of someone who has expertise in going down to see the Titanic. Take a look.
It shouldn't have been doing what it was doing. I think that's pretty clear. I wish I had been more vocal about that, but I think I was unaware that they weren't certified because I wasn't really studying it. I wasn't really interested. Stockton Rush asked me if I wanted to go out there and dive this season. I wasn't interested. There was a lot of concern about this outfit and this sub. A lot of concern, even to the extent that I wasn't involved in it because I was making Avatar 2 at the time, but a lot of them got together and wrote a letter to OceanGate and said, you have to certify. You cannot take people down. It's irresponsible, and it could lead to catastrophe. Monday morning, when I first found out about the incident, got on a whole bunch of calls and emails. It's a small community. Within an hour and a half, I had the following information. They were on descent. They were at 3,500 feet. They lost comms and tracking. The last one being the critical one, because the transponder that's used to track a sub during descent and on the bottom is a fully autonomous system. It's in its own pressure housing and it has its own battery power. So for them to lose comms and tracking at the same time, sub was gone. There was no question in my mind. For days, I tried to run other scenarios that could account for it. I could come up with nothing. So the next thing I did was contacted a few more people and managed to track down, there are acoustic networks around. Some are research, some are intelligence. We got confirmation within an hour that there had been a loud bang at the same time that that comms were lost. A loud bang on the hydrophones, loss of transducer or transponder, loss of comms. I knew what happened. Sub imploded. I sent emails to everybody I know. I said, we've lost some friends. The sub has imploded. It's on the bottom in pieces right now. I sent that out Monday morning. I never believed in that technology of wound carbon fiber, wound filament, cylindrical hull. I thought it was a horrible idea. I wish I'd spoken up.
So Larry, by now probably everybody knows about this story. We've kind of moved on. I just went back because I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Before I give my harsh critique, Larry, I'm sure you followed this story because you follow what goes on in the news. What do you think about 5 billionaires that knew that this thing wasn't certified and they actually signed a piece of paper, a waiver, saying that they was okay with it, Go down there and get in the submarine. The thing implodes, and the news media gave them so much coverage. You would think that the president of the United States was down there. While we had some other issue going on with people in the ocean, floor is yours, Larry, and I'll come back and finish this thing up.
Yeah, I as I was watching this, I just kept saying, you know what? I just don't care because it's so patently unfair
Thank
the
you.
way this thing works. I mean,
Thank
you
you.
had people off the coast of Morocco, I believe it
That's
was,
that's it.
that were going down, and they don't, and not only that, not only just that particular incident that didn't get any coverage. Only coverage I saw of it was a little bit on the ticker on the bottom of like CNN and some of the other networks that talked about it briefly. And but we have seen time and time again that when you have people that are trying to escape from war, from famine, from poverty, from all kinds of horrible conditions, that they will get on a boat that's way overloaded and try and get to safety and to freedom. And you have people like from Greece, you have the Coast Guard from say like Greece, from Turkey, wherever, and they leave these people in the water. They won't help them until until their boat loses it, till the boat capsizes or people are gone overboard. They won't help them until they're actually in the water. And no one covers that. No one talks about that. The only time they talk about that is when you have local people that are fishing babies out of the water on the beach and posting videos of it on their cell phone, and it can't be ignored anymore. But you have a couple of billionaires that take their asses down and decide they're going to attach a couple propellers to a GoPro housing and go underwater with it, and then wonder why the thing blows up or implodes. It's just like, I mean, if this had been a rocket ship, they would have found out. They would have recommissioned the space shuttle and sent it up in space within a week and sent a rescue mission up looking for those folks. I mean, just because you're rich does not mean that you deserve any more special treatment. And I'll be perfectly honest, this may sound cold and calculated. I hope to God that whatever the Coast Guard and whatever other agencies spent money looking for these people, I hope they bill their estate for the rescue attempts. I hope they bill their estate for all of that, because it is utterly ridiculous that you send yourself down there with this uncertified submarine, you get yourself blown up or imploded up, and then our government has to go spend millions of dollars and hundreds, if not thousands, of man hours looking for them. I mean,
Right.
you know what? An average person gets lost in the forest and they will bill you for your rescue. They will bill you for helicopter fuel and for man hours when you have to go out there and get rescued. So I hope they bill these people for this rescue attempt. The only thing that made me really sad about this was there was a 19-year-old kid on board, and his aunt was on there. Apparently he was close with his aunt, and he told his aunt he didn't want to go on this trip. He did not want to be on this thing. And he only went because his dad wanted to go, and his dad wanted some father-son bonding time. And it sounded like one of these things where you have a rich dad who spends way too much time working. He doesn't spend any time with his son because he's too busy doing whatever he does. And so he was basically forced his kid to go and spend this bonding time, and the kid got killed as a consequence. That was the only thing that made me feel bad about this, because that kid did not want to be there. He just was trying to please his father. And as we know biblically, that is what you were supposed to do. Be there, please your parents, do what your parents tell you. And he felt like from what his aunt was saying, he felt like he had to go, and he didn't want to be down there. And everybody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish up for Larry so we can get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Larry basically shares my sentiment. It's just that I'm gonna go a step deeper into the minutia than he went. I feel the only person I felt sorry for was that kid. I mean, like, my heart bleeds for him. But in any other situation where people sign away their rights, we hear the same people that's yapping their fat lips that, well, you know what you get into, you know what you signed for, is out here crying about some fucking billionaires.
Yeah.
So when the NFL got into that lawsuit about head trauma, I heard so many people complaining, well, they knew what they signed up for. Why should someone have to pay when they knew what they signed up for? Them the same MFers out here want to know why people not feeling remorseful about some fucking billionaires. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, the paradigm Larry explained between the people that got sunk off the coast of Morocco versus just 5 individuals who are just wealthy is sickening.
Yeah.
It's sickening. And it makes me sad that these MFers, and don't get me started, I'm not going to go into my diatribe about how American capitalism and all the loopholes in it is terrible, but that's a case of this. Signed away the rights, knowing that this was a bad ship, to go down there, potentially look for what? Old treasure that's supposed to be still down there. Look through a 15-inch window when you can sit there and go through any of James Cameron's stuff and see a great shot of the damn Titanic. A waste of $1 million.
Yeah.
Under a system that is not set up to help the people that work the system. Let me give you a statistic. Before these guys died, there was 2,600 billionaires in the world. Before they died.
Yeah.
Do you know that of all the world's wealth, those 26 billionaires account for 50%? There's only 8 million people on planet Earth. 8 billion, excuse me.
Right.
There's 8 billion people on planet Earth, and 2,600 of them have half of all the wealth.
Yeah.
And you want someone to feel remorseful for these guys when they always tell us these type of things. We're trying to make things fair for everyone. No, you're not. We should be sorry at the loss of any life. Okay, why you didn't give airplay to those immigrants trying to cross the ocean in Morocco? Didn't do it. You come here, you work your fingers to the bone, you can be like these billionaires. No, you're not. Stop it. Stop it. So that's why nobody has an appetite to hear about the loss of these guys' life when they knew what they was getting into. They signed away their rights. Nobody cared. Sorry.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like, I'm not going to jump up and down and celebrate their demise.
No,
but
no.
I'm not gonna sit there and mourn them either. For one, I don't know them, and two, it's like you're up there doing extraordinarily high risk activities, and then you basically paid the price of said risk. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I saw somebody on TV saying, adventurers and explorers have always gone out into the world and done things, and they've often paid the price. Throughout history, you've had people that have gone out and explored the oceans and new lands, and they've paid the price, and they run into new people or animals or diseases. I get that. But when you commercialize that exploration, when you're saying to people, this is safe. I've created a safe way for you to do this, and then it's not safe. Well, there's some responsibility there, but also when you sign your rights, when someone says, yeah, this thing's not certified, and it's like if someone says, we want to put you on a test flight to go to outer space, but we haven't certified that this ship is safe. Am I feeling bad for you? No, I'm not.
No.
If you want to go down to a submarine, you're a billionaire. I bet you could have easily have gone on a certified submarine, and maybe it would have cost you, instead of $250,000 a ticket, maybe it would have cost you $400,000 a ticket. But guess what? You would still be alive at the end of the day.
Exactly. You still be living and kicking right now.